Interesting services from Red Rose and Scope, provided by WFP, make the management of cash and voucher programs easier, right through the project cycle. These services allow for easier auditing and management of different components of the program, such as registration, post-distribution monitoring, and bank transactions. Could you please summarize the service that you provide to humanitarian organizations throughout the program cycle?
Red Rose is a secure, easy-to-use digital platform and enables NGOs and humanitarian actors to manage their programs for operational efficiency and to enable programs to remain fit for purpose.
Scope and IOM systems, which is the DTM, displacement tracking metrics, will ensure that there is a full life cycle monitoring of these beneficiaries. Wherever they will go, we will know where they came from, what they have received, and what they require at a given point.
It's also a process of a lot of sensitization because the amount is per individual allocation. So we do train and inform the beneficiaries of what to expect and how to go about then operating the mobile service platform.
What we offer is a disbursement of funds to beneficiaries. But using the NFC solution which we have, we offer you a service where they can actually use the funds to buy goods and services that they require or that are targeted for the use of the beneficiaries.
What do you think differentiates you from other cash transfer solutions?
What we've tried to do in Red Rose is to facilitate and make this a lot easier for program management. So we have one system, and that's why we call it one system, that integrates the program management, the M&E and the beneficiary registration all on one platform, so it's fully integrated.
We equip the beneficiaries with cards, NFC-based cards, which are tied to their wallets, and we also equip merchants of different forms, including public service providers like hospitals, with POS or mobile POS devices. This enables them to take the money that's already stored on their wallet with the cards and make payments for the various services that they need.
Scope does not do only cash transfer. That makes Scope to be a bit different from others because we cover the full range of distribution modality. Scope has an incorporated tool that we call the Scope Business Intelligence. So we are able to see in real time how much money has been given where to who and by who.
Given that we've been able to use or put structures in place that have hence been able to address some of the challenges that we have faced, such as working with not only NEMA, SEMA, but in Yobe there's a university as well, who we have capacity build and are assisting us with the sensitization of. So in as much as, yes, there are challenges, we have put structures in place that are able to address to these challenges.
Great. Have you had any troubles with data security? How are you solving this?
At every level of our platform, information is encrypted and we use industry standard data protection. So firstly, maybe looking at the vendor devices. These are vendor devices that are locked down, so they can only be used with our application. So that means they can't be tampered with and they can't be hacked into. So also the information on the vendor device is encoded and encrypted so that there's no sensitive beneficiary information kept on that device.
Our data is cloud-based and it's stored in a UN International Computing Center, which means that all the security measures are in place. When it comes to now data handling locally, we make sure that there is a segregation of duty that is in place. People who are in charge of registering beneficiaries are not the ones who will approve those beneficiaries. They are not the one who will verify those beneficiaries. And people who create the cycles, for instance, the distribution cycles, are not the ones who will approve them, and so on and so forth.
What are the top learnings that you're taking away from this situation?
We have as a standard a 4-pin digital verification, and we find that sometimes the beneficiaries either lose that PIN or they need help or assistance in using that PIN with the vendor devices. So we've had a couple of solutions around this. The first has been around a color-coded PIN for illiterate populations groups. The other thing is we're developing now is biometrics.
We have partnered with the local leaders so that we can first of all resolve the problem of identification of the beneficiaries. And also we implement a staggered system of delivering the SMS alert so that people don't flock in the same time to come to collect their SIM card and go to redeem their entitlements.
We tend to recruit from the communities because of familiarity. Again, dealing with too many unfamiliar people for traumatized folk is not exactly a helpful way to engage them. And so we try to take from the community, engage with them, and use the connections that we already have to enhance the products that we give.
Is your system open for other organizations to use, and how do they go about using it?
We are building, running, and transferring the system to NEMA when time comes. Any other organization that is interested to use Scope is welcome. Of course, they will need to adhere to WFP policy of data privacy.
Any NGO can use this system in any environment. The whole idea about being able to use our system offline, and that's the default, is that an NGO can operate in any environment, any complex environment, especially in insecure areas like northeast Nigeria.
What are your recommendations and predictions for the future of cash transfer programming?
I see cash transfers in the future being used not only for humanitarian purpose, but even for governments who want to redistribute the wealth to people.
People understand cash is the cheapest mode of operation or cheapest modality to get money to beneficiaries. The take-up's only around 4% of the total humanitarian budget. So why is that? And that's because there's a lack of accountability and transparency. So as we, as a private sector company, deal with security and transparency and accountability around these issues, making the systems more secure and transparent, then hopefully donors and the public will it will enable them to have greater confidence in these systems, and therefore more money, which should be more efficient if it's through cash, will be allocated through systems like Red Rose.
Scope, Red Rose and similar technologies that can manage cash transfer programming are rapidly becoming standard for humanitarian agencies. The existence of close links between the developers and humanitarian providers is likely to result in rapid change in how information on cash transfer programming and other programming is managed. It's fair to say that we all look forward to further developments in this sector.